Hello, my name is Madaleno Lorenzo, and I was born to be a leader. That isn't my pride talking. It's actually a part of my nature. It might have to do with being born into a military family with the tradition of military service dating back to my grandfather. It might also come with being born the eldest of three to parents who were themselves the eldest of three. Actually, it definitely has to do with the latter. As you can see, I have my hands full taking care of my younger brother, my younger sister, and my three younger cousins, and the many dogs that we have. So, yeah, growing up, I was always treated as a leader by my parents. Even my siblings consider me a leader, although they probably wouldn't admit it. And I don't think my cousins are old enough to understand the concept of leadership, but they like following me around, so. So, yeah, I've been brought up thinking that I have this leadership ability, and I always used to think I would use this leadership ability and continue the family tradition by joining the military. So at the start of my high school career in fall of 2013, I went into Cathedral with the mindset of getting into the Naval Academy and becoming an officer in the Marines. Fast forward a bit to the fall of 2015, the start of my junior year, I had a lot of things going for me, as you can see. I was going to be in varsity shot put and discus in the spring. I was part of the leadership for many different clubs. I was performing major community service with my church, the Boy Scouts. I was going to earn my Eagle rank, which is the highest rank in Boy Scouts. And not to brag, but my SAT and ACT scores were looking really good. Of course, life often plays out with no consideration for your careful planning, so let's just throw that out the window. On September 7th, 2015, I suffered a major concussion. Long story short, I had to drop out of school. I had to drop all my extracurriculars. I spent over a month shut off from the world on brain rest before I decided myself that there had to be more active ways to heal than just laying in bed all day. So for a while, I was going around on brain rest and looking at different treatments, some traditional, some experimental. You know, it was hard. Progress was hard gained and slow to come, even after I found and joined the Traumatic Brain Injury Clinic program at Scripps Encinitas. I will be honest, it was a pretty dark time. My entire life had been upended. All my social circles collapsed. It was difficult, but I had to give myself a goal to focus on, so I focused on getting healthy enough to go back to school. I put aside my fears for the future, and I worked on the day-to-day, going through therapy, working until after 4 months I graduated from the Scripps program. You can see me graduating. Those are actually my therapists on the left, and that was my friend Rusty, who was also going through the program. So yeah, after graduating, I was given the green light. I was relatively healthy again, but I still wasn't well enough to go back to the traditional school setting. So that's how I found myself at the charter school of San Diego. Here I was able to work at a pace my brain could handle, and I could continue going to therapies and treatments because I had a lot of those. But I worked, my condition improved over time, and I was moving forward. And as evidenced by my Halloween costume the year after my accident, I didn't let the struggle get me down. Although it was difficult to drop all my social circles, to deal with the drop in social activity, I started making short videos, often with my siblings and cousins as actors or cameramen. Fun things. I also started writing poetry, things that I share with the world now, part of my side jobs, I guess. As I got better, I also started going back to my church and the Boy Scouts, reconnecting with the community I dropped, and I started reconnecting with my friends again. like shut myself off from for over half a year, which is crazy to me. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Of course, reconnecting with them made it all the more difficult to watch them graduate the year after. But although it saddened me, it motivated me to keep moving forward. And so now, just after 3 years after my accident, I'm ready to graduate high school. But I realized I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do. I mean, I had a few crazy ideas in the back of my head. As you'll see, there were numerous, but nothing really concrete. But I thought back to my old plan, and I remembered that I wanted to teach after the military. I love acquiring new knowledge, I love sharing knowledge. I'm fascinated by history, and it was always my plan after my term in the military to teach history. So when I started Pathways, they gave me a direction to look towards. I started to look into teaching and becoming a history teacher. But then, as I reflected, I realized that there was something else that I could teach that I enjoyed, I was really good at, and would feel a better impact on the world. And that is teaching leadership. Going back real quick to the year 2007, I joined the Cub Scouts, which is sort of the younger tier Boy Scouts in the 3rd grade. Over the years, I've progressed through the ranks. I've made it all the way to Eagle Scout, and I'm still a part of the Boy Scout program through the Venture Scouts, which goes up until 21. So, as you can probably guess by all the photos I just showed, Scouting has had a huge impact on my life, especially NYOT. What's NYOT? Well, jumping forward a bit to the year 2012, I attended a week-long leadership camp called National Youth Leadership Training, NYOT. Now, in the beginning I said I was born to be a leader, but I really believe it's at NYOT where I honed all the skills that make me into the great leader I am today. So I attended the camp initially because my scoutmaster thought I would do well there. So I went in with really no expectations, but after 7 days I was hooked. Teaching servant leadership and embodying and demonstrating the ideals of servant leadership to the next generation of leaders, I wanted to do that. So when they called me up shortly after the course, asking me to staff the next year, I returned with an eager yes via email. And so I returned the next year, and the year after that, the year after that, and the year after that, up until the course I just finished this past June. For 6 years, I've taught leadership, communication, team building skills, and I've loved almost every second. So when I was working through Pathways, the crazy idea hit me that I could do this for a living. It seemed insane at first because I had been paying to do this for 6 years, and the idea that people could pay me to do what I've been paying to do, it was crazy. But as I researched the careers, as I looked into ideas, I realized that I could actually teach leadership for a job. So after some research, I started to develop my own plan, a new plan. So one of the things we teach at NYOT is the importance of having a vision. So I made myself a big vision to strive towards. My big vision is to start my own young adult leadership program. I know personally the benefits that a program like NYOT has given me. I mean, I use everything I've learned there pretty much in my everyday to day, from communication skills to how to make the proper pot of spaghetti. So I feel like a program like this should be available to all youth, especially those outside of the bounds of scouting, like around my age, which is when we age out of scouting. But that's my big dream, my vision on the horizon. But first I need to make a bridge to that horizon. So as I was researching through Pathways, I started to look at careers that could best fit my great vision. After some research, I decided that training and development specialist would best match what I wanted to do in the future. And the Pathways course actually helped me a lot because it gave me an idea to interview some training and development specialists that were in the field already, which is something I would never have thought of. So I actually interviewed 3 training and development specialists at Petco, and listening to their unique experiences and the variety, there's a wide variety of undergrads that they each pursued to get into the field. I was almost validated with my plan to go to college, and it helped me solidify what I wanted to do at college, what I wanted to study. So my current plan is to attend UCSD, and there I want to get and earn a bachelor's in either communications or business psychology, or both, and then eventually earn a master's in business administration. And then I want to get a job as a training development specialist, and after a few years of experience, I want to start pursuing my great vision. Now, I know this is like almost very vague. There's a lot of steps and pre-steps and sub-steps that we still need to figure out. I don't know if I want to commute or live on campus. I don't know if I can even handle a full college student's load, or if I want a 4056 or a 3677 meal plan, or if even those are the names of the meal plans anymore. But having this new vision, this new goal to strive towards, is pushing me forward. And I know if experience serves me well, it's going to be a hard uphill struggle, but the view from the top will be worth it. Thank you.
Great job.
Congratulations again.
So
Thank you,
with
high school
that,
grads.
I'm emotional right now because I had started, Madaleno had started at the same time. You really grew.
Yeah.
It was always there, but you had to jump those hurdles and go through that, and now it's, I think without that struggle, you might not even be in this point right now of figuring out leadership. Maybe you would have been a military commander, which is great, but maybe your heart wouldn't have been there. So that led you to this point. So super proud of you, but also I'm going to maybe embarrass you a little bit and have everyone who's here give Madaleno a round of applause for being a high school graduate.
Yay!
All right.
Congratulations.
Yes, congrats. I always ask my students if they have a cat because your cat would love this.
You did.
There you go. She did every room with it. But anyway, good job, Madaleno. Can I give you a hug? Wow. Thank you guys. Reza, what a blessing that you had that background that I didn't even really realize. And now
I'd love to be a resource. If you ever have any questions, give me a call. Shoot me an email. Let me know.
yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.